titled this as a beginner's course. We do have a big variety of experience. Some of you that have never played medieval music before, and others that have done quite a lot from the sounds of it. So I hope that whatever level you are, you will take something from this, whether it's consolidating your existing knowledge or just some new ideas to put to the medieval music you are playing. You should have all been sent the written out music for those of you that would like to use it, but I will be teaching the melodies from scratch by ear as well, because I know there are quite a few of you out there that don't read music as well. So, for this course, I am going to teach you some medieval pieces from different countries. Today we're going to start off with Iberia, medieval Spain, and we're going to learn a piece from an amazing collection called the Cantigas de Santa Maria. Now, in the sort of medieval times, there are very few instrumental pieces that have survived. So I look a lot to the songs to playing instrumental music as well. I'm not really a singer. I might have a go. I know there are some singers out there. So my medieval pronunciation, I would go somewhere else to double check it, but I will give you some of the words if you would like to join in vocally. So yes, the Cantigas de Santa Maria, they were compiled in the 13th century by Alfonso X, known as the Wise, in Castile, in the north of Spain. And it's an amazing collection because we have 420 songs, all with their melodies. And it sounds like it was a sort of mix of cultures in the court there. Now, there was definitely Christianity was in control at that point, but there were lots of Moors and Jews within the court. I think Alfonso sort of really, from the sounds of it, valued the sort of creators and intellectuals there, and we know that they had some influence in this music because this collection comes with lots of iconography and pictures of the musicians, so you can tell with what they were wearing that they're from all different cultures, and also just with the melodies as well. There are lots of links to sort of existing poetic forms from sort of Moorish culture or Jewish culture, and there is a variety of melodies that might make you think of certain world music. They are all about the Virgin Mary. She was very, very popular at the time. Every 10th song is a general sort of praise song, and the others are stories of her miracles. So some of the stories are quite entertaining. There's one about a ferret that gets that gets squashed or run over, and Virgin Mary comes back and brings it to life. There's another one, number 42, about a man that wants to play a game of ball, and he has a very precious ring. And there's a statue of the Virgin Mary nearby, and he puts the ring on this statue and says, "If you look after my ring, I will be true to you always." Goes and plays the game, comes back, the ring's there, he's happy, and then it forwards to his wedding day and his wedding night. And he's there with his new wife, and up between them pops the Virgin Mary, who told him that you would be true to me always. And then at the end, he becomes a hermit. So, yeah, there's a whole, there's hundreds of stories if you want to look into it. And I just thought I would show you some of the pictures that come along with it, which, as I said earlier, just gives us insight into some of the instruments. Now, a lot of instruments originate in sort of more the Arabic culture. Sorry, just jump in the wrong ones here because it's not letting me move the. I will get you in a second. There we go. You can tell. There we go. So here we go. These are nice pictures. So they're quite often in pairs of musicians. And you can see there's a big variety of instruments. There we go. And also different outfits and hats and that sort of thing as well. What's great about this collection is it's all available online, the modern versions of it. If you look at the old notation, it's all written in Neumes. I don't know if there's any of you out there that already know how to read old notation, but there are definitely lots of modern editions out there as well. So there's a lot of introduction there. I thought it would be great to start off with a simple accompaniment that you can use for this piece. Now, when I was talking about earlier, the influence of the Moors and sort of Arabic style, and we tend to look at those unbroken oral traditions of folk music to influence the way that we play the pieces. There were lots of Moors in the south. Later on, they were kind of pushed out back into North Africa. And so looking at sort of Arabic folk music and North African traditions of the Nuba and things like that can give you lots of ideas. And I'd like to take this accompaniment from sort of an Egyptian rhythm called the Maksum rhythm, which you'll probably recognise. And if I just put it into words for the rhythm, it goes dum tack tack dum tack dum tack tack dum tack dum tack tack dum tack dum tack tack dum tack. So feel free to say it along with me. You can clap along, tap along. I'm going to put it into some notes in a second, but just to get into the feel of that Maksum rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Dum tack tack dum tack 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 dum tack tack dum tack. Fantastic. So let's get our instruments out if you haven't already. I've put this into a key that I hope will suit most of the instruments. I know we have some more diatonic ones out there. So this is in sort of E Dorian mode. E is your sort of home note, but we've got C sharps and F sharps in. So this accompaniment, to start off with, I would like us to use E's and B's. So it's going to go E, B, B, E, B, E, B, B, E, B, dum tack, tack, dum tack. Have a go. Dum tack, tack, dum tack, 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 dum tack, tack, dum, and stop. Good. So I've arranged this song into more of a section repeated, B section repeated. Now, if you were going to sing this song, it has a slightly different form. You have your A section, which is the chorus. Then you have the verse, which I call the B section. Then as part of the verse, you have the A section melody again. So what I've done, taken that melody back to the top, so we have 2 A parts and 2 B parts. So those of you that are familiar with sort of UK folk tunes, it fits quite well into that, and could even use it to play for some Ceilidh dancers later on. it all adds up. So that works for the A part with E and B with your dum tacks. On the B part, we're going to do E and B, yeah, and then A and E. So we're going A, E, E, A, E, A, E, E, A on that dum tack rhythm. Dum tack, dum tack, tack, 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 dum tack. Let's go back to the first one. E, B, E, B, B, E, B, E, B, B, E, B, E, B, B. Keep it going. And then change. A, E, E, A, E. Good. Go. Sorry, stop. So stop, go. So now we've got that accompaniment. I'm going to play the tune over the top of it and shout out things at the same time. So you can keep that dum tack tack maxim rhythm going. For the A part, we're going to use the E's and B's, and for the B part, we're going to use A and E. Don't worry about different octaves. If you have to go up for the second one rather than down, just do whatever fits on your instrument. Okay, so I'll start the rhythm with you, and then I'll start the tune, and that will be the start of the A part, but I'll give you a heads up when we're going to change to the B part. So after 4, 1, 2, E, B. I'm going to start the tune now, carry on. Change. A and E. A part. B part. A and E. There you go. So that is the maxim rhythm, which if there are any percussionists out there, I'm sure you can decorate it a lot more from it. And to just give you a quick idea of how you can change some of those rhythms and still have that underlying maxim rhythm, I've got a little clip. Here we go. And then here we go. So this is how you spell maxim. This is someone just demonstrating. There we go. So feel free when you're accompanying it to add in some more rhythms like that. So let's go to the melody of the tune now. So this is in that E Dorian mode. So we've got the F sharps and we've got the C sharps. To start off with, I'd like us to play a scale just to get into that tonality. So starting on E, We'll just do 4 beats for each. You can choose however you want to, whatever rhythm you want to do within those 4 beats. You could just stick to long notes or add something else in. So here we go. I'll shout out the notes starting on E. 1, 2, 3, E to F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E. Back down, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E. There we go. Okay, so first section, this is what I call the A part. I'll play it 3 to you so you can have a listen without having to do the accompaniment to it, and then I'll break it up into small chunks to teach it to you. Here we go. Actually, sorry, I'm going to change the sound there. There we go. So, the first section, I like to think of this as being in a sort of question, answer 1, question, answer 2 form. So the question phrase starts on a B, and we're just going down by step, and then up again. So it sounds like this. So I'll do that round and around. We're starting on B, going down by step to F, back up to B, and then jumping down to E at the end. So let's try that around after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So next we have answer 1, which sounds like this. So we're running down, we're starting on B, down to E, back up, all by step. Lowest note is D. So I'll run that around and round. Here we go. 3, 4. So let's put those all together. So we have our question phrase and our answer 1 phrase, which sounds like this. So you can either listen for a bit or join in straight away, however you are feeling. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, B. So that's in fact the whole of the A part. I was thinking answer 2 was, in my head was different, but actually answer 2 is exactly the same. So you just got your question phrase, answer phrase, and then we repeat it round again. So in terms of decorating it at this stage, because I know some of you would pick that up really quickly and some of you are still working on it. So if you're feeling particularly confident with the melody, generally when I've got a long note, I like to decorate it either with something on this particular instrument, using my breath articulation, or with my tongue or my fingers. So if we look at different sorts of vibrato you can use for that first note. So if you're on a wind instrument, I really like this sort of finger vibrato, where you're covering the next hole and then you're just gradually covering the one below. You can do it a small amount. You can do it smaller to big, big to small. Or you can vary the speed of it as well. So, for example, I might go... So varying the amount that you go across and back, or you might choose to just keep it very little, just on the side. That sort of thing. Now, if you are on other instruments, that you can, so I know there's lots of plucked instruments out there. So you could experiment doing some different rhythms on that long note. So instead of, you might do, or if you think of, if you've heard a lot of oud players, and the way that they fill in the rhythms is really quite inspiring there. So I'd highly recommend looking some up with some Arabic music and see if you can take something from that to decorate your longer notes. And then also, if we're going back to wind instruments, you can do your sort of breath vibrato as well. And then I guess on my stringed instrument, if I'm, again, you can do your usual sort of a finger wiggling vibrato. But another technique is using the next finger up. I guess it's quite similar to what I was doing on the recorder there. A very, very close next finger. Creating that vibrato to the long note there. So experiment with different ways of decorating that long note as we're playing it through, if you're feeling confident on the tune. And let's try it again. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some other forms of ornaments. So I know a lot of you out there play other folk music from across the world, and using those sort of cuts and crans and rolls and trills can work really well. Again, we can use that first long note at the beginning. So you can either flick upwards from the note or downwards from the note. So I might go to, or the sort of the quicker you do it, the more of a sort of just decoration rather than a separate note. I've just been asked about how I feel about using in Renaissance music, vibrato is used sparingly. I think it's fine to use it in medieval music. I mean, as there isn't a lot written down as to what was, well, we don't really know very much at all about how it was decorated. I guess I should say that, so a lot of the music that has survived was written down because it was either written down by the church or written down by more of the aristocracy. The kind of the poorer musicians would have all just been done orally, and they would have been illiterate. They wouldn't have known that style of notation and writing it out as well, which is why I draw influences from other folk musics around. And I've got an extra person there. I think it's an individual taste thing. So some people really like their vibrato, some people don't. I think it's nice used sparingly, coming in and out. Not necessarily all the time. I like to use it as a decoration rather on every single note. That's why those long notes it works particularly well with. So there we go. So back to, if you have any other questions, do write in the question box. So yes, these little ornaments either flicking up or down. Now I play the bagpipes as well, which has that sort of constant flow of air. And so that kind of almost bagpipe decoration of the notes, rather than just using your tongue on a wind instrument, can be really quite effective. And I mean, you could put it on all. That sort of thing. And then with other instruments as well, just using other notes just above or below to decorate particular notes as you're going through. Just works really well with these simple melodies. And then I guess the other thing to add in right now is you can always put in some slides. So again, it's up to your own taste. Using slides all the time might be a bit much, really. I like to just put them in every now and then. If you're looking at instruments like the oud and those that just don't have frets and things like that, and you're listening to, and in that Arabic music, there's a lot of slides going on. So, for example, on here, you might do. So just pick a couple of notes here and there to try it out on. So with the bagpipe ornaments, I've just been asked if I can demonstrate it more slowly. So I know we've got a lot of recorder players out there. And so if I'm looking at it just from a more wind perspective, if you've got your fingers down, just lift it up and back. Can work quite well, really fast. Some people use the trick of the magic third finger. So when playing all these notes down here, you just keep flicking your third finger and over, which can be easier. That's a slow version of it. And then if we speed it up, like that. I guess so if we're looking at popular instruments that were around then, we've got your bagpipes, you've got hurdy-gurdies and things that just have that constant sound. So using the fingers to flick can work quite well in general. So Peter has just said the other point about playing bagpipes is we want to avoid repeated notes, so they are ways of dealing with that. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, that's what I was sort of coming to with the bagpipes and the and some other instruments as well. You might just to get that separation between the notes when you've got the long lines going, then just using your fingers to flick, because obviously with bagpipes you can't stop the air. There was another thought that some stringed instruments at the time were sort of played in that way, where it's more, this is just one idea, where it's that more constant sound. So rather than getting the different articulation from bows one way or the other, it was mainly done with your fingers. So that sort of the flicking that I was talking about with the on the recorder, same thing applies to stringed instruments and others as well. So rather than going actually, sorry, I'm just going to put on the right sound. There we go. So you might do. Sorry. And that sort of thing. So just really long bows, but doing these little extra flicks. Particularly when you've got two of the same note, but it works decorating them when you are changing as well. So if there's been, I think everyone is, if you've got access to the chat, there's been a recommendation of a publication of the Cantigas de Santa Maria. So they are all out there. Also, you can get them quite easily online. And also, Linda has pointed out that you do that on the Nyckelharpa as well. Yes, that's it. So there are a number of instruments out there with that, where that fingerlet articulation really helps. Okay, let's try playing that first section again. See if you can experiment with some of these ornaments, or just stick to this tune, whatever you feel happiest with. So after 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to mute someone. Let's do it one more time. There we go. Can't do it at the same time as playing. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, so let's go on to the second section, the B part. And I've just got one question about ornamenting, which is if you are going from, if you want to ornament the note B, with that B going to the next note in the scale up, so to the C sharp. I don't think there's any particular rule on that, on what you do above. I mean, on a recorder, it's very easy to just take your finger off, and that is a C sharp sounding. If you do more of half of a whole, you're going to get more of the C. But it's up to you, really. Sticking to the scale can work, but actually some of these ornaments, they're going so fast that you're not really listening to that extra note. It's just there as a sort of sound, very quick. so you almost can't hear what pitch it is. And particularly when you're doing that sort of, if you're doing the magic third finger, if I do it really slowly, it just sounds like lots of fairly out of tune notes above it. But when you're playing it fast, you can't actually hear that note that I'm flicking above. So experiment at the speed of it, and whether you want it to be a prominent or whether you want that extra ornament on top to be a featured note or just a very quick flick there. So having just talked about that, let's go on to the next section, starting on A for this bit. So this has that more, as the drone of A and E, it has that more A feel to it. And the first bit, still a lot of step movement in this one. We've got let's try that round and round. So A, B, C sharp, B, D, C sharp, B, C sharp, A. Let's try it after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Next phrase is very similar. It goes like this. There we go. Good. Let's put both those phrases together now. Phrase 1, phrase 2, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Next phrase starts on C sharp. Again, we're moving by step. Good. Last phrase, and then we've done the whole of the B part. Starts on the C sharp. And we've got So let's just take those last two phrases together, the one starting on the C sharp. We'll do that round and round after 4. 1, 2, 3, C sharp. Again. Good. So the whole of the B part now. So for all 4 phrases, starting on A. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. Good. So we have got the whole piece. If you've got any questions about it or anything you want me to go over, then just write in the chat box. And if you want to, or if you'd rather talk, just tell me the chat box and I'll unmute you. There we go. So let's have a go from the beginning. Let's put it all together. So we've got our A part, and that's repeated. And then we've got our B part, and that's repeated. If you're still just learning the notes, just stick to the basic tune. If you're feeling more confident with it, try out some of those different ornaments with different ideas of vibrato, the slides, and the flicks and the trills. So here we go. So starting on B. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beginning. Repeat. B part. B part. And stop. Sorry, I realised when I was first introducing this at the beginning, I was in my head thinking it was the B part repeated, and I'm really sorry the B part is only played once, but it does add up to the same thing. So you've got your A part repeated and then your B part just one in whole, and then they're all the same amount of bars there. Sorry about that. I had this other cantiga in my head in terms of the form for some reason when I was playing that. There we go. That is the basic melody of it. Now, I thought I would just go over some of the words of just the chorus at the beginning, because even if you're just playing the instrument, sometimes this can influence the way that you phrase it as well, if you want to be inspired by the words for it. It doesn't do copy and paste. I had my whole words ready. Oh, there we go. We'll just do the first bit. So feel free to just continue playing the melody if you would like when we end up singing this. And, my text box has gone a bit weird there. I want this text box. Come on. Okay, there we go. So hopefully can you all see those words? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see the words? Come on. Cool. Great. The whiteboard is new to me. Here we go. Just the words. And this is just my idea of pronouncing it as a start. So we've got Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. So in the melody, we've got 3, 4. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. The next bit, we've got Mostranos via. Mostranos via. Mostranos via. And then the last bit is Pera Deus enos guia. Pera Deus enos guia. Pera Deus enos guia. Pera Deus enos guia. So that last bit together is Mostranos via. Pera Deus enos guia. Mostranos via. Pera Deus enos guia. So it's Mostranos via. Pera Deus enos guia. 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 So, whole of the chorus goes like this. 3, 4. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Mostranos via. Pera Deus enos guia. Santa Maria Strellado Dia. Mostranos via. Pera Deus enos guia. So, for those of you that are singers out there, I hope that helped a bit. As I said before, I'm not a singer, so if you want to go to this is in Galician Portuguese, actually. If you there are specialists out there that might be able to help you with the more of the pronunciation and the nuances there. But I just thought it'd be interesting, even for the instrumentalists out there, just to see some of the words, because it can inspire the way that you play it as well. Don't have to be inspired by it as well, because if you're playing this as an instrumental piece and you're not accompanying singers as well, then you might want to phrase it in a different way. But it just gives you some extra options there. So to finish up, well, I thought we'd play it through a few times, and I will come in and out with the accompaniment and the tune. So you can hear how it fits together with the doom tak tak doom tak accompaniment, and so you may want to try some of that out, try some of the tune out, or just stick to one of them. It's up to you. And while we're doing that, if you've got any questions, then do put them in the chat box, and I'll do my best to answer them now. And also, if you think of some questions later, just email me as well, and I will cover them next time. So I'm going to alternate between the tune and the accompaniment. Let's try it after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. we go. So that was Cantiga de Santa Maria, number 100, and it's one of the hymn songs that is generally in praise of the Virgin Mary. But as I said, there are 420 of them, I think, around about that, and they are all accessible, whether that's online or in publication that's mentioned as well. So I hope that gave you a bit of an insight into that melody and some of the things that you can do with it. And if you have any questions or any comments, then do feel free to email me. It's always hard to tell on Zoom what everybody is thinking, and to try and make sure you include everyone's questions as well. So if you haven't had a chance to write anything now, and then do just email me afterwards. Someone has asked, what tempo would I use? Do you know what? I think I would play it a little bit faster, but it depends. When I'm accompanying singers playing that, then I generally play it a little bit slower. And then if I'm doing it as more of an instrumental tune, I tend to push it a bit more. So someone's asked about the key. So I would say, if we're looking at it in relation to the sort of church modes, it's in Dorian mode. So if we're looking at how modes are, say, related to a major scale, then the Dorian mode starts on the second note. So, for example, if you were playing in C major and just had all of the no sharps at all, and you wanted to play in the Dorian mode, then you would start on a D, and then just use all the white keys of the piano, or the non-accidentals. So there we go. Someone's just asked me what E Dorian is. Yes, covered that. Brilliant. So I hope to see lots of you next week. I will be sending out the music soon, and I hope you all have a good week. And those of you that have snow, I hope you don't get snowed in. See you next time. Bye, everybody.